Hello there. Hi. Welcome and thank you so much for being here. We're going to do a collective timeless reading. So whenever this reading finds its way to you is the right time, but keep in mind it's a general reading. So see what signs, symbols, messages, energies resonate for you in your particular situation and hopefully help to bring you clarity on whatever you're wondering. It could change, broaden, narrow your perspective, show you something with fresh eyes, but in the end, always trust yourself, that divine inner guidance, it's inside of you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so that your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the Love Who You Are Oracle. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest and the greatest good of all. What does the collective need to know to be helpful, insightful, and gain a little wisdom and navigation into the energy that's going on right now? And you have two really different messages. You got the bee and you got the monkey. So the message with this monkey is to actually, it's really cute. It says, mind your monkey business. So maybe there's a situation that you just can't be involved with right now. You're not supposed to know what's going on. It's also, I'm getting just, for most of you, it's this. Like if you're worried about what others are thinking out there about you, it's none of your business what they think about you. People can think what they want. Bring that attention back to you. It's about what you believe in yourself, believing in yourself, believing in your talents, believing in your abilities, knowing how special you are, like really embodying how unique you are, your specific way of doing something. So even though maybe that's like a, wanting to know what everyone else's business, I'm getting with most of you, it's not that at all. And maybe that's somebody else. Maybe somebody else is always getting in somebody else's business. And maybe you're kind of redirecting your energy back to yourself or away from certain groups or people. But I'm getting for most of you for this message, it's maybe being a little too worried about what others think, about what you're doing, how you're going about doing something, maybe the decisions you're making. Just own it. Own who you are and do what is best for you. I feel like if you're worried about certain people you really do care about, if they see that you're acting on your truth, and especially if you're like beaming this honey happiness of this bee and like working on your own thing, whether that's yourself, your project, a certain arena in your life, it's like getting busy with something you love. It's sweet like honey. Then if you're worried about anybody specific because you care, they'll come around. They're going to come around in their own time. People are ready to hear, help or hear something when they're ready. Sometimes actually, if you're like trying to get a point across to somebody, it's really weird. Sometimes when you want to be the one to help someone or teach someone, they don't hear it. But then they'll hear it from some random stranger in the grocery store or some random person online, and they hear it. And then they come back around later and they're like, oh, you know what? The thing you were trying to tell me about, you were totally right with that. So I'm getting just kind of allow peace in a situation. If somebody's meant to hear something and learn a lesson, it will happen. It will be orchestrated divinely. You don't need to push anything. So let's take a look. What's the bee? The bee is such a special, special sign. Harvest the honey. Oh, you're not just working, you've been working. So this is telling you got some honey to harvest. Don't miss this golden opportunity. I Freudian slipped and said olden. So maybe this is something that you put on the back burner or something you started a long time ago. Maybe it took a long time for this honey to be ready to harvest. I just think of when the bees, when they work all season long. And they create, all the honey that they need to survive the winter season. So unless you have a super and you've had those bees for a while and you've got that little penthouse on your hive where the queen can't get up there and they got the oversupply of honey, then you can harvest that. So if there was like an oversupply of something, maybe the harvest time comes sooner than you thought. I think this is a metaphor, but maybe it's about bees if you're a beekeeper. But if you don't have that super on the hive, you have to allow them to have their honey so they survive in the winter. And then later in the next season, you can harvest the honey. So I hope that made sense. I just see that like penthouse on the penthouse that goes on the beehive. It's got like a specific doorway. So maybe it's a specific doorway or opportunity that only you can fit through. So that was kind of interesting to come through. All right, let's go to something different. This is the Fairy Guidance Oracle. Any more messages that need to come through for the collective, please and thank you. Yes, that one. Opportunity. Well, there's your door of opportunity. So, ooh, it's also like it's like a glowing orb of sunshine in the nighttime. Maybe something at nighttime. Maybe it still glows different. Look at this. Or you're creating your own opportunities now. Yeah, it looks like that. When your eyes are wide open, fresh eyes, opportunities you never thought were possible will manifest. So I'm getting a big wake up call. Transformation. So I'm also seeing like, I don't know, I see that orb. I feel like it was there the whole time. Maybe you passed it 200 times and just didn't see it because your focus was on something else. Like on a heap of garbage that was across the street. And every time you go by it, you're like, why aren't they going to clean up their garbage? Look at that garbage over there. Ugh. And like you go by the next day and you're like, oh man, they never clean up the garbage. Look at all the garbage that's there. Why can't they get someone to like clean that up? Metaphor. It doesn't have to be actual garbage. And meanwhile, on that other side is this beautiful beaming opportunity for you. I hear partnership, maybe relationship, maybe friendship, maybe job, maybe the right place to put your creativity out there. It's right there, but you're looking in the wrong way. So that's kind of nice. So it's just redirecting. You're going to start to see something different. And I feel like once you harvest this and you feel how sweet something is, honey is not the same kind of sweet as sugar. It's not stevia. It's not like anything else. It's not artificial. Honey just, it's different. It's different, and our body actually processes it different than any other sugar. So that's kind of what I see. I feel like you're going to process this opportunity differently. It's going to feel like a different kind of sweet nourishment than anything else maybe you've ever had, but you're definitely going to recognize it. So let's do another animal message. This is the messages from your animal spirit guides. Let's get another message for the collective, please. And thank you. What else about looking to your own monkey business? Getting ready to harvest the honey. Actually, the numbers here are 14. That is temperance. That is balance. And 7, I always see it as the spiritual path. It's just kind of how I look at a 7. There is also an opportunity here. This bee is like creating that honeycomb, but to me it also looks like a portal or a doorway, maybe that you are somehow energetically or actually in reality creating yourself. Or it's been spiritually created for you and your destiny. So let's get one animal message, please, and thank you. Oh, you have, all right, so you have the cat, the domestic cat, not the tiger, big cat type. It's actually pretty cute. But this is telling you that some of you are being a little like over dependent on a certain arena, a certain person, a certain aspect of you. It's having over dependence. It doesn't necessarily say codependence here. That is a little different, but it's like relying on something a little bit too much, and it's telling you to be your own inner badass. Bring attention back to you and do something independently using your own strength. I hear your own free will, but it says it's time to strike out on your own and relinquish over dependencies on others. I mean, just think of how they're kind of different than a dog. I always feel like with cats, like you're their person, not they're your cat. So it's like, oh, that's my person. My person's home. My person is gonna feed me now. It's like, it's different than the dog. The dog is like, oh, they're like, are you here today? What can we do? I hope that came out right. Like, I just feel like they're kind of opposite. The cats are just kind of, they do their own things. Now, there are some cats, I will say, they are a little bit like dogs. And I had a cat that was a Persian, and that cat was a little bit like an alien. It wasn't like any other animal I've ever had. But, you know, it's individual to the personality. But I do feel like cats in general are pretty independent. They're also pretty different. There are different kind of cats. I'm thinking of the kind of cats that are outdoor, indoor. And you know, I have, like, my mom's cat goes out and he explores at night. He hunts. He brings things onto her porch. He sleeps all day in the house, but I don't know what he does at night. He explores all over the place. And then there are other cats that cannot leave their little environment. And when they go outside, they're like, new territory. Don't know what to do with this. Want to go back in my house. So maybe it's discovering something new, like getting out there and discovering some new territory. What if there's a huge, beautiful tree out in the yard and you didn't even know, you want to sit under it and look at birds? Yeah, so I think there is a, like, having to go out of your comfort space a little bit. Your comfort space is still going to be there. But I'm also getting doing something on your own, your way, your road, your path, your project, your person. Oh, I hear your person. Huh. All right, well, let's see. Let's see what this is all about. Let's jump into the tarot. I brought this fun little guy out today. This is, let me show you. I even like the cover. I like this. I love, like, pinup style. I think it's so sassy. Like the Vargas pictures. All right, so let's get some sassy inspiration from the tarot for you guys. Clarity on minding your monkey business, harvesting some honey. With a strike out, I also feel like maybe there's been a few situations you may have, maybe you actually stepped up to bat and struck out, but maybe that helped you discover a different arena or sport as a parable that is for you. Or perhaps striking out actually got you stronger, so you learn something so you can hit a huge home run out of the stadium the next time. I feel like I should shuffle one more time, so let's do it. Shuffle. What else do we need to know? Let's just start to build a little picture of the energy situation for you guys. What does the collective need to know, please? Oh, we have slow and steady wins the race. I like the Knight of Pentacles a lot. I know this is it can be a little bit annoying energy, but I have like huge respect for the Knight of Pentacles. It's not yet the King. The Knight of Pentacles can definitely be male or female. It's usually an earth sign, but in a general reading, it's advice. It's to take your time, pay attention to every day that you have, pause when you need to, jump in the fire when you need to. It's really getting your hands into a project. It's wanting to be in a situation long term. It doesn't mean you're all the way experienced yet, but you're definitely on your way. You're definitely past the pages energy, and you're really putting your strength and I keep hearing willpower. So maybe this is taking a lot of willpower. But sometimes this is a long journey. It's not the instant gratification kind of night. I mean, this guy's just like, lighting up his cigarette by his fancy car under the moonlight with his dapper hat in the city. He's not driving that car right now. He's taking a pause. He's taking a moment. So allow yourself, moments to rest, moments to meditate. Usually this is a night on a horse. And I always say make sure you water your horse and let your horse eat some grass and get fed and have some hay. And you have to wait until they're done. You can't rush them eating their hay. They don't like that. But here, you have to remember to fill up your gas tank or you're going to run on empty. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus does not have to be, but this is either you or someone else is coming in that I would say if you offer them that opportunity and they are like really into what they're doing work-wise, they're going to stick around. This is a loyal person. I would say they're actually pretty independent too. I actually hear a loner. But it's not always. This person could be very very extroverted, but I do hear loner. Upside down, they take way too long to put their plans into action. They have amazing plans and the amazing strength and know-how and like gumption to actually get in there and work hard. But, it's forgetting to fill up your gas tank. Or they get frustrated because the plans that they had in their mind and the energy they put into something didn't exactly work out according to plan, and they get frustrated with the mess ups, the mishaps, and it kind of gets them on a sidetrack. And sometimes they can get sidetracked a little too long and not come back around to that thing that they really want to do. But upright, they're pretty strong. This is the slow turtle that wins the race. But I see this night as usually making it to the finish line every single time when their mindset is in the right place, when their heart is in the right place. And then they take that and put their energy into what they can do every day. I would feel like upside down, maybe it's also a lack of control, because that could be outside circumstances. And if that makes them feel like they're out of control with what they're in control with, because this is a very touchy-feely, do-it-yourself kind of energy. They want to feel the projects they're working on. So if something like outside of their sphere of influence kind of affects what they're doing, that can be frustrating. I'm getting like a little bit of a hermit. Like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to stay in the house today. It didn't work out anyway. But that's just when they're kind of like lowering their vibration and talking themselves out of something. If they keep their right mindset, they can do anything. It doesn't matter what mishaps or outside forces come in and, change direction on them. This is a pretty strong individual. So let's see what this Knight of Pentacles is all about. What's going on, Knight? Why are you taking a little pause of rue here? What are you working on? Oh, you're working on getting out of your head. So if this Knight had something to happen that's bringing them into this energy, it's because they're like stuck in scenario land, anxiety land, overthinking, replaying what happened in the past, what they want to happen in the future, what could happen. And the Knight of Swords is hard because it starts to affect how you sleep at night. It's interrupted sleep patterns. It's having nightmares and, waking up in the middle of the night. It's like feeling an awkward feeling in your stomach, like kind of anxiety. Doesn't even mean that anything's wrong. It's just like kind of a weird place to be in. And when you have that kind of feeling, or when it's that kind of stress that sneaks in at night, it's stress. And when you have stress, it blocks you. It energetically blocks you. It creates like mud. I see like mud patches in an aura. so things don't move so smoothly. I'm also having trouble speaking all of a sudden. So maybe this guy is having trouble speaking, or this energy is you or someone else having trouble speaking about what didn't work, what did work, how to go, not making a decision. Or sometimes this is just a little scenario that happened in the day and gets so blown out of proportion at night. Sometimes it's a buildup of a lot of little things that you actually forget about in the day, and your day seems to be fine. But then because they're like these little mud buildups of things that have bothered you, they block you and they sneak up on you when you're trying to actually relax. Upside down, I kind of see this a different way than other readers do. Upside down, it's still kind of getting stuck in your head and it's still kind of not sleeping right, but I see it as kind of like overplaying amazeballs scenarios or fantasies. So it's not always negative things that are replaying. Sometimes you have lack of sleep because you're dreaming about somebody you want to be with, or how amazing that job would be, or how cool it would be if you were just released from this in your life and what you could do with that freedom, or that one moment that was so magical in your life and you just replay it and then continue it to be better. So it's still overplaying something. You're still not there, but it doesn't have to always be like a negative vibration. It can be a very high vibration, but it's still starting to affect your energy. So let's see. What is being like, what is start affecting you or someone else's sleep a little bit here? What's sneaking on in at night, causing stress or anxiety? Oh, ooh, okay, that's the worried about others coming through. It's the Five of Swords. I don't really like that card. That's like a really foul, sore loser, and someone who, even if they win, they're like pompous about their winnings. It's somebody who doesn't care if they take something from somebody else as long as they get ahead. It's kind of a weird energy. You know, here it is just one person here. I feel like whatever situation this is, whatever battle or game this person was playing with, those people didn't even want to play that game anymore. They're like, you know what? You win. You win. We're going to go over here. You are not fun to play with. And they just kind of put their swords in, left them, and booked it out left field here, or left field there. The red sun. It's like mind games. Someone playing with your mind to get ahead, because it's a swords card. But I also see this a different way. Where is it? When this is upside down. No, what's going on? This one, when it's upside down, is sometimes somebody who can keep you on your toes, to keep you mentally sharp. It's like a good, app on your phone, or like Sudoku or whatever it is, where it actually keeps you, see, like Scrabble, keeps you, sharp, guessing, expanding. So this could be somebody that plays a very good game of chess with you, but when it's upside down, they're playing so you get better. They're not letting you win and making it easy for you, because then you're not going to gain the skills you need. So sometimes this is a situation, whether divinely orchestrated or someone's actually in your life that wants to actually see you do better. So they're not going to make it easy on you, so you don't really know how to handle yourself if you're in an actual situation. I hope that made sense. So sometimes this is very beneficial. When it's upside down, these are definitely people that just try to get over on someone else to get more for themselves. This person has like two swords there, but they're just kind of alone. It's like they have their tripod set up for their little selfie on this grand battle that they won or thing that they accomplished, but there's no one there to actually share it with. These are very different cards, by the way, so I get different messages than the like standard and typical. So let's get one more card. Clarity on the 5 of Swords, please and thank you. What is that about? You got the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. There's a lot of mental activity going on here. I would say if this is advice coming through, it's getting back to ground zero, getting back to work on what you love, gaining back your sense of independence. Stop worrying about all the other opinions going around, what they think and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and kind of like find your own, getting tranquility, because you definitely have this opportunity coming through. It's going to feel sweet and nourishing and bright and brilliant. Also, when that says eyes wide open, I'm kind of getting that thing I saw in the beginning with the trash. It could be that if somebody's just used to a lot of this energy and like brushing opinions like sandpaper back and forth, but it's always kind of combative, but that's the environment that is the comfort zone. Maybe it's having enough of something different so you realize that this shouldn't be the comfort zone at all. So let's see where you or someone else is coming out of after this situation, or after eyes are opened, please. You're coming to victory. Good. Good job. You're definitely opening your eyes. You're definitely releasing over dependency on others, stepping back into a sense of independence. This is definitely when you're harvesting the honey. I see this as the little Chariot. This is the little victory. It's a minor arcana. You have more control over this, but look at, you're coming home for your parade. You're not standing there alone, taking a weird old selfie from somebody that forfeited the game because you were a sourpuss to play with in the first place. You're here. You're recognized. You're loved. You're noticed here. You're valued here. Everyone here is on board with you. Everyone here wants you to succeed, not fail. Or not take one, pull the rug out from under you, or, try to mess with what you're thinking or your good decisions that you know you can make. This is an actual parade here. I like it. There's wreaths of victory. There is a city here. Maybe a city is important. I feel like that came through twice. There's confetti. There's confetti coming out of the buildings here for you. So whether this was a spontaneous thing, people were excited. They ran to like the 99-cent store right away. They're like, they're coming. I'm going to go get confetti. We're going to be ready for this. Or it was planned. But it doesn't mean you didn't go through some crap, because you went through some battles to come to here. But you succeeded because of them. Even if you kind of failed, I kind of see this as you may have lost a couple games, lost a couple battles, but this is when you realize how you're going to win the war. It takes passion and enthusiasm. It's getting your sense of strength, creativity back, and it's like expansion energy. But you have to also, if this is upside down, it's not being up on your high horse if you're the winner. You have to recognize all these amazing people that went and bought confetti for you, that are there to support you, that were there in the beginning, and that are going to stick around to the after party. It's recognition, whether you're recognizing help, or others are recognizing you, or you're recognizing somebody else who has succeeded, and it totally inspires you to know that you can do it too. All right, I'm going to do, well, I wanted to make this a little short. All right, let's do one more. I'm just going to stop at whatever's at the bottom. One more, just to kind of sum the night of, oh, well, I guess it's not at the bottom. I guess it doesn't matter when it wants to come out, it will. What is this? Oh, we have 2 6s. And then I'll show you what's at the bottom, because that one's a weirdo. Let's look at these first, because you have a match here. Maybe 6 6. This is somebody coming back. I usually see this as a soulmate, a past life situation, maybe somebody actually coming back from your past. This could also be what I was kind of talking about with the upside down 9 of Swords, when you're reminiscing about something in nostalgia land, so much that you have to remember to come back to reality. That's one way to look at that. It's nostalgia, it's getting lost in usually the past, not so much the dreaming of the future, but you're still kind of not in the now. Sometimes it's meeting with an old friend and reminiscing about all those awesome times you had doing that thing that one time that you weren't supposed to do or were supposed to do and succeeded at. This could be a friend calling you up. This could be you actually connecting with your children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews or stepchildren or your teacher. You know, it's younger energy. It's innocence. It's platonic love, but it's also, I see it as pure love. I see it like the lily. It can be sexy love too, but it's a purity of heart when it's there. And it's also you recognizing your inner child, healing from childhood wounds, doing things different. If, you know, something happened to you as a child and you're repeating that karmic cycle for maybe generations, instead of taking hold of something, taking the reins and making the changes that you wish you had when you were a child. That was a weird thing to come through with that. I hope that was helpful. Sometimes it's just a blast from the past. But I usually feel like this is somebody you've connected with on a soul level. You just kind of feel like you've always known this person. It's also somebody that you cannot see for a long time, years. And then you see him again, it's like no time went by at all. How weird is that? You know? So let's look at this, because the underlying energy, even though you have this beautiful healing, reconnection, reconciliation, memory coming back around, maybe this is part of your support system for this slow but steady but absolute road to victory. This could also be what is thought about here, or helping you recover from. Could be looking at situations like you had in the past that were a bunch of sore losers you used to know, and that's what you're ending here. But I do feel like it's more a support. It's more something pretty genuine and special. This is the kind of person, if they're still in your life or just came into your life now, this is the kind of person that would be gentle and gracious with you, but honest. Because they want the best for you. And sometimes hearing the honest truth and constructive criticism isn't always easy. That's the one that's not going to let you lose to make you feel better, or let you win so you feel better. Here, it's needing to release something that is not working. It is not healthy. It is harsh. It is not right for you. It is time to let something go, or this is what's already happened. Because when this is let go of, you feel so much better. It doesn't mean this is easy. Not all endings that we have in life are easy. Some are gentle and beautiful and sweet. Some feel victorious. And then you time to move on. Beautiful chapter done. Beautiful chapter awaits. And sometimes it's like this. And this is harsh. This is hurt. This is painful. This is not something anyone wants to go through. But 'tis life. Because going through these are where we really learn. Where we really know that we don't want to go on that kind of path again. But this could also create fear to not even try from something that could be a great opportunity to bring you this beautiful honey in your life and success, because you're too scared that it would be this kind of ending. Not all endings are like this. Every situation is different. Every relationship and person is different. And if you have self-awareness and self-reflection and the ability to transform, you can be the deciding factor on how difficult this is. To let something go, to break away, to release, to get back to your own independence, and feel like every day. I just heard "Don't Rain on My Parade." Wow, that was a weird one to come through. Oh, what's up, Barbra Streisand? Wow, she's a big one to come through. So the good thing is, this usually means it's done. It's something that's already done, or it's about to be done. And after you allow yourself some time to heal, you look back at that situation and you feel so blessed to not be there anymore. So let's get one summary from the Art of Life Tarot. What summarizes, let me make myself a little more organized. You have the 2 sixes, 6 of Wands. You have a lot of mental stimulation kind of cards today. Intelligence. So don't get stuck in over analyzing something either. You have to involve your heart here, the truth and innocence of your soul, and be realistic about something, logical about something, but realistic, and actually put your hands into the energy, slow and steady, to head towards this harvest. But you have that 5, 9, and 10 of swords. So what is the bridge that helps clarify all of this? Please and thank you. One card. Justice. And at the bottom you have the 3 of Pentacles. Interesting, because you had time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependence on others. But here, this is the right kind of others. Maybe this is coming in, or you can recognize around you the people that you can work with, that are on board with you. It's interesting. They usually have different skills than you, different talents, and a knack for something. I always see like one is like the planner, one is the talker, and like one is the builder or something like that. Like they all kind of have their own, like they still work together to create something. Usually you're creating something like in a church or at business. But this is working with others you enjoy being around. Or because you have this independent energy, it's enjoying being around yourself and really loving what you do. So your heart is in your work, and it doesn't really feel like work then, does it? 3 of Pentacles. It's kind of a pretty picture. We'll look at this too, but let me see what this is. I forget how tiny these words are. Look at that picture. It's like all these people looking at, I don't know, that looks like a circus or something, but it does look like there's something being built. It also looks like they are under a tent looking out at a more solid structure. Oh yeah, it's called the tightrope. I didn't even see that. Oh, there's a tightrope walker. Oh. Well, that's definitely balance. Also something amazing to watch. The reward of a thing well done, there you go, is to have done it. Where's your 6 of Wands, your reward? This is when you're proud that you tried. I don't think this person was perfect on that tightrope every single time, especially when they started. But they found it was kind of a cool thing they liked, and they kept doing it until they got proficient and professional at it. And I'm sure that tightrope walker, it just made me think of Tightrope by Janelle Monàe. Like, really enjoys it. The reward of a thing well done is to have done it. It's stepping up to bat here. That's what it's telling you to do, to try. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And then you have Justice, which is sometimes 8, sometimes 11. In this deck, there aren't any numbers. I like that it's Vincent van Gogh. Even the way he painted had movement. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like it's all of the brush strokes are just kind of going around in a circle like energy. (1887). And the quote is by William Shakespeare. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as night and day. Thou canst not then be false to any Man, what was that first thing? This. If you are always being truthful with who you are and integrity with what you do and what you pursue, there's no need to have to hide anything or retract anything that you kind of said because you didn't want to really tell the truth to somebody else because you thought they'd think that and da-da-da-da, and have to keep that all together. If this is coming through, it's like there's never anything to keep together because everything you always give is genuine. And it's finding that balance and that huge relief and that honey in your life to feel like it's freedom. The victories you have are because they're authentically you. And it doesn't mean you don't mess up, but this is sometimes the justice system. Sometimes this is an outside source, like that person that gives tough love or the mediator that comes in and sees the bigger picture of something and says, okay, well, you're not thinking clearly and you have that and I see that and I see that and this is what needs to happen so everybody feels equal or like they're given, you know, some closure is what I see. But usually this is within yourself. This is definitely releasing judgment on others, which kind of brings us right back to the beginning, this monkey business. People mess up. They can get that lesson when they want. They can think whatever they want, do whatever they want. They learn or not. And it's just releasing your attention out there and redirecting it back in you. What can you change? How can you rebalance your skills? How can you evolve from what didn't work in the past and how you want to be in the future? It's also releasing judgment on yourself. You too are a beautiful divine soul having a human experience, and it's weird down here. And it's hard, and it's also beautiful. So be true to yourself. And then like night and day, every day, you're never going to be false to any other person because you're being true to yourself. You're not readdressing or redirecting yourself because you're trying to fit this weird formation of how somebody else perceives you. That would be uncomfortable. So I hope this helps you guys. Let's get one more. And also remember with general readings, sometimes it's just little bits. It's not this whole thing here. So you take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't. And that's a message for somebody else. And I also always think that, you know, I like to do readings for whom is watching, who I'm connecting to. But if you are connected to somebody else through a high vibration of love, sometimes the messages here will give you clarity on what somebody else is going through. But with my readings, I always do that it's for the highest and greatest good of all. And I only get messages that I have permission from soul to have. So if there's a message here, it's meant because whoever you're thinking about, their soul is giving you permission to know this, to give you clarity and understanding. Because sometimes we are not supposed to know something. And I feel like reading cards, I like to do it with integrity, where I don't ask questions to where, you know, my monkey business doesn't belong, or to me to give that information where it doesn't belong. Because sometimes people have to go through stuff in the dark and on their own with privacy. So this is either for you, little parts for you, or it's meant to come through to you to give you understanding. But then it's meant to come through with permission. So I hope that made sense. I know I've said that sort of in other readings, but I do believe in privacy. Even in tarot readings, there are things that are here to help and heal, and that's why I do this, and to teach and to help you tap into that inner divine guidance system you have and connection to God and source, so that you can come up with your own answers. So I do hope that through these readings I somehow teach because I'm not an answer. I'm a normal person experiencing everyday life too. Let's get one more card. From the Winged Enchantment. That's a little soapbox moment I had. I guess that needed to come through, that message. All right, one last message, please, and thank you. Oh my God, I'm so excited that this just came through. Because about how many minutes have I been doing this reading? Let's just say less than an hour ago, one of these bad boys was right outside on an old piece of wood, and it's so big, it's so beautiful. I was like, what, a woodpecker? I mean, they're like this big. They're like the parrot size, smaller beak, longer, but then they got that red head, and then when they fly, they got that spot, that white spot on the back, and they're really big birds. These are not little woodpeckers, and they just do their business. He was out there. I'm like, what is that noise? What is that? I'm like, oh, it's like a huge bird just sitting there. And it was on a stump, so it was really low. I think my sister actually got a picture of it. I'm so happy that that came through right now. That was just, for me, a little synchronistic moment. But this is actually a pretty cool message on this. 38. Maybe you get to see a pileated woodpecker like I just did. They're kind of cool to see. They're just sort of, I don't know, they're kind of out of place. Like you see them in the woods, you're like, you know, they look like you should be in the jungle, like somewhere tropical or something. All right, what is this? No, that just made my heart smile and my face. I am woodpecker, the rhythm of the ancients and the heartbeat of the earth. I am drummer, and I am the percussion of life. It's like something's telling you you have to like make some changes, you know, balance something back out. Really be true to yourself. Make some moves out of any situations like that 10 of Swords, because that's probably bringing you this kind of energy every night. And once you do, bring back your sense of independence. Really tap into things you did when you were a child. Maybe, you know, even reconnecting with somebody very, very special to you. Really loving this thing that you're working on. I'm getting a double admiration here, even though that's not the typical meaning with these two together. It's like people are looking at this person, people are looking at that person. So it is possible people are really admiring you, or there's somebody you really like are inspired by. That could even be somebody from the past. Or somebody you meet soon that feels like someone you've always known. Where was I? I am the one who digs deep and finds the secrets hidden within. I am in tune with the world, and I allow my echoes to lead me to the hearts of others. Nice. I can drudge up those things that were forgotten. I like that. Can you hear that bird outside? I can call out that which hides. Know that everything has a time, has a beat of its own. Know that there are always more layers beneath the surface. So I have come to change the pace and alert you to something new on the horizon. Align yourself now. Where's that cat? The cat, I would say. And this justice. Where is it? Align yourself now with what needs to be rather than what has fallen out of sync. This is a mismatch. You know? This is complete incompatibility. This is a not right for you kind of situation. Or not right for you anymore kind of situation. Align yourself now with what needs to be rather than what has fallen out of sync. Look to where your heart pulls you gently, in truth, and let it play out. That would be that 6. Just think of play. Find the new beat of your life, because there is great power and realignment. You are captivating sound. You are the energy of vibration. You are connection. And you are woodpecker. And with that, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful for you. I love you so much. And I will see you soon.